Welcome back to another episode of the Marketing Quacks podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Dozer, and if you're new to the show, the mission here is to expose the quacks and gimmicks in the marketing industry while featuring some great marketers and entrepreneurs along the way. On this episode, I'm super excited to introduce Larry Ludwig. Larry is the founder of LinkClicky and an expert in all things SEO and affiliate marketing. Larry, thanks so much for joining the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so just for full disclosure really quick, I followed Larry's journey for I think 4 or 5 years now with your Investor Junkie story. I've heard you on a couple other podcasts as well, so really appreciate your time joining the show. So for those who don't know who you are, let's just do a quick intro on who you are and what you do.
Sure. I started in online marketing, internet marketing in 1995 with the company I worked for, an ad agency. So from there, eventually went off on my own. Did some web development, web hosting, and from basically 2008, 2009, got really frustrated with the clientele I was working with and said, well, if they can build blogs, why can't I build my own, right? Like, why can't I do affiliate marketing myself? And I saw actually a few other websites like Bankaholic sell for, at the time, $12 million and got really intrigued by it and said, well, this could be really a viable. I was already doing affiliate marketing at some level. And I just saw it being more, didn't really believe it was true to be an actual legit business model. And from that grew Investor Junkie to where I eventually sold it in 2018.
Yeah, and the Investor Junkie story is extremely impressive. So can you share your story about that? I don't know how much you can disclose legally and whatnot, but talk about, how you grew Investor Junkie to what it became and how you ended up selling it for that $6 million price point.
Yeah, I guess in terms of initially I was developing, again, content for others, websites for others, and was doing SEO. I knew SEO, but was not really good at the time, and understood that SEO obviously drives most traffic, but really, hired, in fact, outside agencies to do it for me initially for my own business, and just saw the miserable failure that they didn't really get at the time how SEO worked. And I'm like, if I'm hiring an agency, I might as well do it myself. And then bringing it to Investor Junkie, kind of thought of, well, why don't I, initially focus on topics I liked and then realized that ultimately, I got to write for others and write for Google and write for the search engines to help people find my content. And that's really where in 2000, say 11, 12, I changed my focus and really wrote more for others. Instead of writing, topics that interest me, I wrote for topics that would interest others in investing and ultimately, finance. And from that grew the site where initially it was not growing much at all or monetized at all, and grew it to the point where I was eventually able to sell it in 2018. Obviously, I'm skipping, things in between, but ultimately there were issues like SEO at the time where I had a negative SEO issue in 2015, I think it was, 2016, where it affected rankings, where someone was purposely, maliciously hurting the ranking of Investor Junkie at the time. And from that, eventually figured out what the issues were, recovered from that, and then, grew it to, again, where I was able to sell it in 2018.
I look at the finance niche right now, and I don't know. Do you think that's possible in today's age of affiliate marketing to do what you did with Investor Junkie? Because I look at competing against NerdWallet, Go Banking Rates,
Yep.
Forbes to some extent. A lot of these YMYL niches like finance are just super, super competitive, and Google's almost making it impossible for the little guy like Larry Ludwig with Investor Junkie to even have a chance anymore.
I would say it's different. I think SEO, while not dead, that's a good question. I would say SEO is something that you got to look more at the longer tailed and use other means to generate traffic and generate interest, right? There are other people that have been very successful outside of SEO. Obviously, with affiliate marketing, it's very much tied to SEO, but I think it's definitely, you're really relying on one. If you look at a stool where you have four legs, you're relying on SEO, and that's primarily most people rely on only. And it's very, I just from a business strategy, business risk, it's very risky. Obviously, as you're seeing now, we're now in April 2024, and you're seeing many blogs getting decimated, not only from the March update from Google, but even prior updates from the HCU updates, and it's just not recovering. There's no end in sight. I've not seen any positive recovery from these updates, even though Google says otherwise. That's a whole other topic in itself. But that being said, I think it's becoming clear for the smaller players that are not the Forbes, not the NerdWallet's, not the Bank Rates, that your SEO and affiliate marketing don't mix very well. And I've always said for years that Google did not like affiliate marketing. They're really narrowing it down to a small niche of players, and there's consolidation in the industry not because of the natural progression of businesses and consolidation of, say, affiliate marketing. It's Google really forcing people to consolidate or to shut down.
Yeah, and that's where you see the conglomerates like Red Ventures and Dotdash Meredith, who I used to work for. You see like these 5, 6 huge conglomerates, along with the increase in forums now with Reddit and Quora, that are kind of dominating almost every competitive SERP, it seems like.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a very valid concern. What did I say? Affiliate marketing is dead? No, by any means, affiliate marketing is not going anywhere. I mean, even one could question in the next, say, 5 years, will search even be around where it is currently? I would say no, too, with AI and search even definitely playing a with the results that I think Google's search results are generating are really poor at the moment. So why would you even want to use a search engine? I've actually had relatives and family members ask me what's going on with the search results. And again, they're not in SEO, they're not in this area. They're just normal users of Google and questioning like maybe I should use something else.
I want to get your quick take on something. I actually made a whole video on this because I'm very passionate about this topic. What do you think about Google investing $60 million a year into Reddit to fetch its data to train its AI models? And now the SEO traffic increases 5%. And how convenient now they file for an IPO and go public. Yep. What are your thoughts on that whole situation?
Well, I'm not a fan of Reddit itself. I think ultimately for years they've never really made money as a business. Obviously, I'm not giving out investment advice. But that being said, I question the business model. It's never really made money. Obviously, with the investment from Google and the recent IPO, it's just very convenient, like you said, that they're now all of a sudden public and generating much more revenue and more traffic than ever. I don't think the search results or the results in Reddit itself are useful. I think a lot of, the thing is Google replaced known bloggers that had, what they called EAT, that they would have to disclose their information, who they are, what their bio, what their background is, and all these other external links to other sources, and pushed it onto a forum, a public forum, that you're literally anonymous, right? You have no idea what this person, the classic New Yorker cartoon from many years ago would say, no one knows you're a dog on the internet. And it's, I think, more applicable than ever, where you're having anonymous users literally giving recommendations, in some cases health and money, that you have no idea their qualifications and you don't know what their intent is. And Google was always like, well, we don't know the intent of these bloggers. We certainly don't know the intent of these users. And we're seeing the proliferation of spam on public forums because of people are abusing these moderators and or manual ways to generate content because of Google's trusting them so much. It's very clear. The example I've used for my own personal website, that recently it was a keyword for a review, and I've gotten decimated also from HCU. And what's ranking in the SERP is stuff like LinkedIn, Medium, Reddit.
Parasite SEO.
Parasite SEO. I mean, that's exactly it. And it's ultimately, there's no easy, honestly, it comes to a point, that's not to say you should get rid of a blog, but in my case, I'm publishing stuff on other, like you said, Parasite SEO, and other public forums, public blogs, and it's going to rank higher than my own content. That just tells you how messed up right now is Google's algorithm. So I don't think it's good.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I think, too, it's a rule of thumb that whenever a company, especially a SaaS company, goes public, you can automatically expect the quality to diminish. At least that's what I've experienced anyways. And now with Reddit, as you said, they've been public. They've seen all this increase in traffic. Well, how many more fake or users that are from these companies behind closed doors promoting their products and their services? So how can Google or Reddit maintain all of these spam accounts? I agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, it's impossible. I mean, I've seen many examples of spam content on Reddit itself, and there's no way to moderate it. When you Google did it algorithmically. They did it all automatically. Where if you're having humans involved, by very nature, while it's obviously something it's hard to scale, right? You can't scale this. And I just question how viable honestly, if I was in Google's shoes, I would have just bought Reddit from a standpoint and to be done with it, because of more or less they're promoting so much of their content. You might as well make it into part of Google.
Yeah, it's all corrupt and crooked. The best marketers I know are not fans of Google. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
So let's talk about affiliate marketing. Let's go back to this a little bit. We've talked about how it's becoming more difficult to not only get to rank for certain keywords from an SEO perspective, but to convert those visitors on the first touch. What are a couple tips or strategies that you have for anyone trying to build a blog or build a brand in 2024? Is it still possible? Talk about that a little bit.
It's definitely possible. I mean, one of the strategies I've done myself is doing long-tailed SEO and doing programmatic SEO. Even though Google says in this March update they're really targeting programmatic and AI content, I mean, there are many long-tailed keywords, many programmatic SEO examples that exist out in the world that for Google to target when they're literally all the search results themselves are also programmatic for that same keywords, it literally would zero out that whole area where there would be no content at all. So I find that interesting that Google, I think ultimately, if you read between the lines, that Google obviously doesn't want outright bad content. I get that. But in the same notion, too, the outright target programmatic SEO, where you could even argue e-commerce is programmatic SEO, right? You have a product listing, all that's automatically generated. It's not, some human didn't sit at a keyboard and, initially maybe typed it, but it's becoming to the point where it's all automated and generated by a computer. And it's not generated by some, human manually creating content. So how does Google differentiate that? If you really go to the letter of what they say as far as programmatic SEO and AI content, that would even exclude their own content in many cases, especially with the recent updates. So I find that interesting. That being said, affiliate marketing is definitely not dead. It's definitely changing. That being said,
what are some niches that you're bullish on in affiliate marketing?
That's a good question. What niches am I? I would have to say, I'm still have obviously some passion for investing in personal finance, but it is somewhat, people, the your money or your life niches, people still need to have those issues solved, right? Since the dawn of man, so to speak, there have been always these issues of relationships or money issues or health issues. So they're not going away anytime soon. That's not to say necessarily SEO is the best strategy for them. Clearly, I think, like you said, it's becoming much more saturated. Forget about even the issues with Google recent months and years. It's becoming very saturated. So for your end, you obviously have to niche down. But in the same notion, too, they're so large, they're viable businesses in themselves, right? People, the classic of is you never can have too much money or you can never have, lose too much weight. And those still apply today. So people do have those issues. And I think ultimately creating more of a connection, more of a interaction with your audience is better suited for other mediums than just purely SEO. SEO, by very nature, has been always transactional, right? You have an issue, you solve that problem. You're looking for some solution to an issue that you have, and you search to do that. And AI is going to eventually, I think, replace most of that.
Yeah, I've actually been more bullish on YouTube, surprisingly, in 2024. I just think that, A, it's an easier search engine than Google to rank for various keywords. Mm-hmm. And I think, too, the personal touch actually adds a lot more value than what people realize in the age of AI. At least that's what I've discovered anyways.
I argue, too. I agree with you. But in the same notion, too, AI is going to be used, and it's being used in YouTube as well. If you notice some of the recent changes for publishing, right? They're asking, is this content automatically generated in any way, right? And you can have things with, I predict personal brands, what used to cost a lot of time and effort to create a YouTube video is going to become very easy, even if it's not necessarily a deep fake, but using your own persona to espouse whatever content you want to do. And it's not you literally speaking, it's your AI bot doing the work for you.
That's possible. I just feel like it's easier to detect with just straight copy on a website versus someone actually talking in a video. I don't know. The average person probably can't detect that. People are getting really sophisticated, though, with their deepfakes.
If you listen to, I forget the name of the AI software for audio, it's becoming almost undetectable that it's AI driven, where video obviously is behind that, but not much. I would say in 5 years, we'll have AI video that will be undetectable for, again, using your persona. I'm not suggesting the deepfake and all the other legal and philosophical issues that come with that. But in terms of actually using it to your advantage to proliferate your own personal brand is going to be much more effective.
Yeah, for sure. So let's keep on the topic of AI here. Are there any AI tools that you're leveraging right now in your
I'm
workflows?
using ChatGPT, of course. I am looking at creating more personal learning models internally myself. I'm also using a plugin tool for Google Sheets. The name of it escapes me at the moment. That allows me to use ChatGPT. So it allows you to import all that stuff, especially with programmatic SEO, where a lot of it's done in spreadsheets. I use also Surfer SEO is also a very useful tool. Outside of that, I haven't really done any image generation yet. I've been using more programmatic SEO to generate logos, for example, right? Like that's one topic to really scale your content. But in terms of actual images, I am looking into the idea of using either AI and or just image libraries, stock image libraries to generate, featured images, stuff obviously relevant for an article. So
I don't know if you have the Adobe suite. You should look into Adobe Firefly. It's 10 times better than Dolly 3 or whatever other AI image generators are out there right now. Midjourney's pretty good too.
I'm using Photoshop at the moment. I've not used the other tool from Adobe.
Yeah, you should check it out. It's pretty realistic. Where do you see AI going? You mentioned AI video, with Sora, OpenAI Sora,
Yep,
that's their
that's
new
the
AI video model coming out. What are some trends that you see with AI in 2024 and how it's going to impact affiliate marketing, digital marketing in general?
I mean, again, regardless of what Google says, I think AI is here to stay, both in terms of the content that we generate as content creators, but also Google using it more and more, or people using more and more AI, right? AI is very small. If you look at the infiltration of AI into search or just overall online, it's very small. So we're really in the very baby stages of AI. I would say it is akin to when I first started on the web in 1994, 1995. That it was really the early stages where there was only hundreds of thousands of sites at the time, and things were just starting to take off. We're still in the very early stages of AI and really what it's possible to do with it.
Yeah, I agree 100%. So let's transition to marketing quacks, Larry. This is the Marketing Quacks podcast after all. What are some marketing tricks and gimmicks that you see people do in affiliate marketing?
Well, I'm always been a stickler of it's very, here's me promoting the product and showing you how I promote that product. So it's too meta in the sense of promoting a way to make money online where you're the actual person they're making money for. I find that always fascinating. It's too meta and really, obviously while in some ways it's genius, it's also doesn't necessarily show that you understand, say, affiliate marketing. I see that all too often in affiliate marketers that are promoting their own wares.
Yeah, I agree 100%. My favorite one too is the bait and switch. I like that one in affiliate marketing. The other one too is just straight copy paste. Well, now you can respin with AI. You can respin AI images. You can respin AI content. I have a couple competitors for one of my tech niches that I'm in, and they completely respun my logo, respun my URL to some extent, respun all my articles, my images, and it's like, what do I even do at this point? Because they're based in India, so there's no jurisdiction where I can go file anything.
Yeah.
And we're just going to keep seeing this more and more as AI becomes more prevalent.
Well, the sad part is too, right? Google, I don't know in your case, are they ranking higher than you? But
for a lot of keywords, yes.
it stinks because of ultimately, right? You were considered the authority at one point with HCU. Google's demoted your keyword rankings for many topics and pushed this other news site because it's only been generated, let's say, in the past 6 months, and it's instantly ranking higher for you than your content, which is just not right? Like if you look at it from a SEO design, it's just horrible. It's really horrible right now. I consider the search results probably some of the worst we've seen, and this is being objective. Again, I have no skin in this game right now, and other than my own website. But it's not what it was, say, 5 years ago. Without question, it's the results are not effective in my eyes as an actual user of their product.
I agree 1,000%. And not to mention, they're also using a bunch of shady backlink outreach tactics too. So I forgot to throw that part in there.
Yeah.
I'm curious, quick, what are your thoughts on backlinks or digital PR now with all these new updates?
That's a good question. I would say with Investor Junkie, I didn't do really active outreach for backlinks that much until the late stages before I sold. Where before, again, obviously, I get the game has changed now. Like you've said, you have players that have been around for not only years and have hundreds of thousands of backlinks in some cases. But from someone who's just starting out, I mean, I'm not against even, believe it or not, the idea of actually paying for backlinks. It's very rare these days that people. That's not to say you do it, out in the open and announce that you're buying backlinks, obviously. But that being said, I would do it. I would recommend doing it at some level because it's very difficult to get backlinks for that matter, and it's unfortunately the game you have to play, right? Unfortunately, things that I would probably have never suggested 5-10 years ago, I think you have no choice to do partially because of the way Google algorithms working, and partially because of the states of just competition. I think you have no choices in some cases to do a lot of the black hat SEO that honestly works, but you are playing with fire. I do grant you that. But in the end, you really have to diversify your traffic. You can't rely on one source of traffic. That's really what I think I've always said for years, and people really didn't take it to heart. And I think are really seeing the effects in the past year.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I've followed and agree with you on 100% is the idea of not just one source of traffic, Larry. Let's talk about rented traffic versus just owned traffic. So obviously the name of the game is getting as many emails as possible, quality emails as possible. Mm-hmm. But one thing I've also noticed too, I use ConvertKit. I don't know what CRM you use for your email marketing software, but have you noticed a drop in like deliverability and like some of these other issues going on with these CRM platforms?
Yeah, I mean, I use ConvertKit and ActiveCampaign. There has been a drop in open rates. I mean, part of it obviously is because of Apple and the way they, with Apple Mail, and part of it's Google too. I mean, obviously you do own the email, but there's just like SEO, there's no guarantee it will show up in the search results. There's no guarantee it will be delivered either. So that being said, email you should definitely build out, but like anything else, you're diversifying your traffic. You're not relying on just email. But, it is something where, I mean, the thing I always found interesting that I never understood is you spend all this money, be it, say, paid traffic or generate content through SEO, and you get someone to convert through affiliate marketing link or your own product for that matter, and then you just let them be, right? You have an active, engaged person that trusted your brand to convert on said product. And email obviously is a great way to keep, even to this day, even though some will say email is dead. I always laugh at that. The email is still, not even close. It's still an effective medium. And it's not going away anytime soon. As we've seen with the recent updates from Google, you can't rely on just one source.
Yeah, so in addition to affiliate marketing, Larry, I'm also curious to hear what are some other online business models that maybe you're in right now or you've explored that are more viable than with these helpful content updates and everything. The goalpost seems to be moving more than ever now as AI has come into the play. So what's your thoughts on just other business models that diversify outside of affiliate on the internet?
I mean, obviously having your own course, your own product, clearly, if you look at HCU, you really get down to the bare bones of it. Google is penalizing, I should say, actual affiliate marketing websites, sites that are generated purely on keyword and trying to get them to convert on some affiliate product. And so therefore, Google does look at it differently if you have your own product, be it physical or, course, membership, what have you. So ultimately, you should definitely diversify on that as well. Google. And same thing with, obviously not having all transactional content, having content that is informational has helped a lot of my clients I've worked with as well. So both those factors have really helped, avoid some of the issues where they may have had a downgrade from the HCU. It's not as severe as some of the other ones where purely just affiliate marketing, where they've relied solely on not only affiliate marketing for the revenue, but Google for that traffic.
Yeah, I've noticed one trend in particular, white label SaaS, especially AI SaaS tools where you have all these companies creating these fancy websites using their API keys from OpenAI and then just upcharging the user $50 a month and they're making, $10 off of each API call. So,
I mean, that won't last very long either.
I agree with you. It's a trend I've been seeing is the white label SaaS.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, SaaS obviously is a good business model. I mean, I'm currently myself with LinkClicky, right? Selling affiliate software. But that being said, it's more involved. Obviously, you have to either be an engineer or hire engineers to do that work. Where obviously a lot of people went the route of affiliate marketing, content creation, because you didn't have to worry about all the technical. Even though you did, I think in the end, the ones that really executed well using technology, like I did, I think did really well. And they've obviously grown to the point where they're in some cases very big brands. Where I mean, the classic Edward Denning once said, it's either technology or marketing are the two main factors that drive a business, and it still, I think, applies to this day.
I agree 1,000%. I never gave you the chance to talk about Link Clicky. Did you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. I mean, Link Clicky is a piece of software that really tracks affiliate links. I mean, my whole argument, the stuff we've been discussing today, is issues of, you can't rely on just SEO. I mean, if you do rely on SEO, most affiliate marketers are just happy to have, a conversion report that says they've had 10 conversions from this affiliate product and done, they're done with it. Where they really don't know what pages they've converted from, what's the sources of those traffic? Was it SEO? Was it, if you're doing paid traffic? If you are doing paid traffic, it's really just a crapshoot. You don't have no idea if you're making money or not with affiliate marketing. Where my software allows you to track both organic traffic and paid traffic to know exactly, if you're ROI positive. And, that's such a, I mean, ultimately I built Link Clicky not only from Investor Junkie, originally came out of, but my whole goal was to treat affiliate marketing products as if it was my own. And from there, track clicks and/or conversions the same way if you had your own course, your own product, physical product, and using the same tools to do that. So my software integrates with analytics to literally tell you what pages they came from, how many clicks did it cause, that, how many touch points did they do before they finally converted? Because of affiliate marketing is just another part of a sales funnel. Obviously, there are certain keywords in SEO or paid traffic for that matter that convert, their last touch point. But it took them, 10 touch points before they finally converted. I mean, an example for me was Betterment was really a good customer of mine for affiliate marketing. And they loved my website because they knew we were the last touch point. But meanwhile, they had all the paid, traffic, doing, they had organic SEO, they had paid traffic, all these things, top of funnel that, they did for me already. So therefore, I was that final touch point before that person finally converted. So, the way to think of affiliate marketing is just another part of a sales funnel. And most people, I don't think that way in affiliate marketing.
I agree 1,000% once again. And I think too, as an affiliate marketer myself, being able to track the sources of your conversions and knowing which avenues to double down in is extremely valuable. And there's a lot of affiliate marketers who don't even track the basics.
No, not at all. I mean, that's the scary part is, it's interesting both in terms of organic or paid. I'll have clients like guesstimate, well, we think we're getting traffic from these sources and we're doing, we are ROI positive in this paid ad. And it turns out they're not, right? Like they'll like this is really the true source of their conversions. It's sometimes not obvious. There are definitely discrepancies. I mean, there's obviously keywords that maybe just from experience have high intent, but sometimes it's not the obvious ones.
Yeah, 100%. Larry, I just want to get your take on one other thing too. Who are some people that in this space that you follow and you look for credible information?
That's a good question. I mean, I have a master. I would say this. I'm not going to give out specific names. I guess I would say more having a mastermind, right? I've been in a mastermind now for, I would say 8 years now. And it's helped tremendously basically bounce ideas off each other, right? We're, in some cases, actually competitors in affiliate marketing, but yet we still definitely discuss our own businesses. It's all, it's open game. And it's really helped. All of the other people in this mastermind group were very successful affiliate marketers. And I've gotten, loads of advice that really has helped me along the way. And I've given them great advice as well. So it's definitely something I would recommend doing is finding, peers within your level or higher and really, discuss creating a mastermind and meeting like every month or something like that.
Yeah, I agree. It's a great idea. So Larry, any final notes here on just marketing advice, affiliate marketing advice in general that you would have for listeners?
I would say affiliate marketing is not dead. It's definitely changing without question. And some of it's going to be related to AI. Some of it's just Google itself consolidating the industry. So I would definitely be on your toes. And what worked in my case, I mean, I would say 3 or 4 years ago, people were asking me, should I create a blog now? Should I, do SEO? Do you have the same opportunities you had in creating Investor Junkie? I would say, unfortunately, the opportunities have changed since I've sold my business. So I would not recommend doing exactly what I did, but in the same notion too, there are still definitely opportunities in the space. And again, like I've said, in my case, investing, people always have problems or issues or need to be educated about investing. That's not going away anytime soon. So the mediums are changing, right? Like you've mentioned YouTube as a great example, AI being another. Those are going to be now more the prevalent ways that people will find this information, where a blog, while won't disappear, is definitely changing, partially because, again, Google's algorithms changing.
Yep, for sure. So Larry, where can people find you online?
You can find me on larryludwig.com or linkplicky.com.
Yep. I also suggest following you on Twitter as well. I see
Yep.
some good info from you on there.
That's a good place.
I'll be sure to leave a link to all that stuff in the show notes and whatnot. So Larry, thank you so much again for joining this show. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Yep. And thanks for everyone for listening to this episode of the Marketing Quacks podcast. Be sure to tune in again to the next episode.